Okay, let's get on to the melee. So, the first melee we've got to do is the knife, of course. And, yeah, this is gonna suck. 30 special zombie eliminations. Dude, this game's trying to give me an aneurysm. It's giving me 3 of them! 3! I've done this multiple times now, but it's just very, very exhausting. And I'm gonna get myself killed doing this. Ah! Right, I'm lowering the health with the gun. Come on. Right, that's 1. Come on. Bam! That is OPAL for the knife. And secondly, as well as lastly, we have the baseball bat to do. Oh, God, go away, Parasite. Jesus Christ. Ah, there we go. And that should be it. There we go. Yep, baseball bat is done. So that's both melee. So now let's get to the video. Okay, guys, so here we are onto the guide part of the video. Guys, I am so relieved to just finally have this weapon class out of the way with, because not only does this mean now that I've got OPAL for the melees, but it also means I have done OPAL for every single base weapon in the game, and that means I can now get onto the Afterlife camo grind and then the Nebula part. So this is super, super cool for me personally. But anyway, the way this video is going to work is like all the other videos. I'll cover all of the challenges for the weapons, and then I'll get to a ranking, and I'll also give my sort of general 2 cents on the weapon class and all that good stuff. So let's begin with the military camos. No better place to start than that, because these are the challenges you have to do universally before you can get into the special challenges. The military camos, in this case, for the melees, are actually going to ask you to just do 2,000 kills. Not critical kills, because these are knives, you can't actually get headshot kills. 2,000 kills, it's going to sound a lot more than it actually is, but in reality, it's not that much, especially if you're using the oil trap technique, which I plug in every single one of these videos, and thankfully, because we're at the end of these videos, you're not going to have to hear me bring this up ever again. But there you go, that video up there, it's still a really good video of mine, and it still holds up because it's still not patched it or done anything to affect this, so it's really useful actually. This thing has gotten me through the majority of this camera grind without actually having to do a lot of effort into it. Like, it's kind of nuts. That oil trap technique is going to get you those 2,000 kills basically whilst just semi-AFK. All you're really having to do in between it is getting those Molotovs from a crafting bench. So there is a few times you'll have to come into contact with zombies and obviously use the knife and not the oil trap. So for general tips, I guess, for these kills, if you're not using the trap to get most of them, something I actually found that helps a great deal is if there's a bunch of them. We're not talking like where there's a wave of zombies and we're in like round 20 or 30 or 40. Come on, let's be smart. Obviously, don't be squatting around and walking slowly if there's all these zombies running at you and amalgams and doppelgasts or anything like that. Don't be doing any stupid shit like that. But if you're in, like, let's say early rounds, or let's say you're at the end of a round and you're just trying to cut down a group of zombies to maybe 1 or 2 so you can go off and get your new pack-a-punches or your other upgrades and your workbench buys and all that sort of stuff. If you're at that point of a round and you just need to kill off some extra zombies, what I often did was crouch and stab zombies from a crouching position. The way this works is that a lot of the zombies are actually kind of swinging like this outwards, but they're not swinging downwards. So the zombies only actually end up hitting you when you're like really face close to them. You have to be like right below their dick for them to start actually hitting you whilst you're in crouch position. So most of the time, if you're crouching and you're sort of swinging at them, it's going to kill them and they're going to have a harder time hitting you. Another thing that's absolutely crucial for both of the melees actually is to have lots of armor. I can't stress this enough. You do obviously want to care about armor in general in zombies, but the melees, it's going to be even more important because we are talking about short range handheld tools. They're not guns. We can't stand afar. We haven't got that luxury. And another thing you're absolutely going to want on for all these melees whilst doing them is the Juggernog. Absolutely have Juggernog on. That's the first perk you should be grabbing, as opposed to Deadshot Daiquiri or Stamina Up or all these other ones that some people typically go for. That's the most important perk for the melees. And I don't really know if there's any other I would particularly put on. I guess you could put on the melee macchiato because you are actually using your melee and clicking B is swinging your melee. So technically, I guess it could make your melees more powerful with a harder punch. There's another thing you might actually notice is that the melees have a pretty decent range. They're not actually as close as you would expect. You don't actually have to be going right up to their stomach, like really close. A lot of the time, you can actually kind of swing from maybe 3 feet away, 4 feet away, and it will sometimes actually kill them, especially especially with the bat. The bat has a much further range, it seems, with its swing as well, and it might actually be from a range where they're not able to hit you as easily. When I was going for those kills, I was really just trying to trick the zombies. So I would kind of step in like this. They would take a swing, and as they were trying to swing, I'd stay back and then go in. Because after they've taken that first swing, they can't take another swing for maybe another second or two. That is the best way to kill those zombies. That's the best strategies I was using, really. But let's get to the first special zombie camo for the knife. And that one was 300 eliminations with brain rot equipped. This is honestly going to be the one bad challenge that you're going to have to do on these melees, because it requires you actually using the knife for every single kill. You can't cheat it. You can't cheese it with the oil trap. So yeah, you're going to want to go to an arsenal, and you're going to want to buy the brain rot ammo mod. It's going to cost you 500 salvage. There is actually kind of a nice catch to this, because the brain rot ammo mod has its special ability as occasionally brain rotting a zombie to go and assist kills for you. Those kills will track. So if the zombie you've brain rotted starts going around and killing a few extra zombies for you, those are going to tally up. They will actually help kill about 7 to 10 zombies for you before they die. It's going to get lower and lower, obviously, as the rounds go on. When the zombies are stronger, they're probably not going to be able to do a lot of help for you, really. But I would advise, in general, to be doing this challenge in early rounds. If it's starting to get upwards of round 20, there's no point in doing this challenge anymore, because there's just amalgam spawning in. There's all this other stuff going on. The pacing is too fast. It's kind of honestly hard to kill zombies when they're all running at you really fast, because here's another thing. Zombies are easier to kill when they're coming at you single file. If you ever see zombies spread like this, don't go for it. Trust me, it's not worth it. As soon as you swing, either you're going to go too close, or the actual swing animation is going to plunge you into the zombies, and they're going to wrap around you, and it's going to be very hard to get out of that situation. You're going to take a lot of hit damage off multiple zombies. You should actually just be letting the zombies kind of single file themselves and then kill the first zombie, so just keep killing them one by one. It's the easiest and safest way of getting those kills. But the brain rot, yeah, you're honestly just going to have the ammo mod on and just go for those kills one by one, and it just sucks. It honestly does suck. But a nice little thing you can do, I guess, is you can distract them with temporary decoy grenades. You can throw down a monkey bomb if you're feeling daring. Go for them, get as many kills as possible, and get the F out, so to speak, because yes, the simple monkey, once it blows up, will actually knock you. So probably not a very smart idea to be anywhere near that. But those things can help. And also, I know that Frenzied Guard can be useful. I don't usually use it, but it attracts zombies to you for a short period of time. I think when they hit you, it gives you health or something like that. And also, I often use the Ether Shroud. Absolutely love the Ether Shroud. Super useful for using the melees. You appear invisible to the zombies, and whilst you're invisible, as they're running away, just start killing them. That also can work. But anyway, the second special camo for this knife is it's going to ask you to get 75 armored zombies. Now, armored zombies spawn in at around round 8 to 10. And honestly, once you've got a Pack-a-Punch 1, at least in the round 7 or 6 to round 11 or 12 kind of area, it's going to be one hit. So really, you can kill zombies that are armored with about 2 hits, I'm pretty sure, or 3. It's going to be pretty quick. I would honestly just say don't worry about it, because if you're using the Citadel oil trap technique, armored zombies are just going to wander in there and die automatically anyway, and you're not going to have to think about it. You can even as well, for a lot of these challenges, apart from the brain rot one, because you actually need brain rot on for that, you could actually put on the frost damage ammo mod, and it will slow the zombies down as well, because they can't hit you whilst they're frozen. So that actually is a very useful tip as well. So now we're on to the second and the final base melee for this grind, and that is the baseball bat. And the very first challenge for the baseball bat is it's going to ask you to get 300 eliminations with it at rare rarity or higher. So very simple. You need to go to the arsenal and you need to get the blue tier, the rare one, and it's going to cost you 1,500 at first, but if you want to go up individual, it's 500 for the uncommon tier and then 1,000 for the rare tier. And you can get those kills in the oil trap, you'd be pleased to hear, and it's going to do that for you. And the final challenge is to get 30 vermin eliminations. Thank goodness. I honestly would have had an aneurysm if it had said 30 parasites, because I'm telling you now, parasites are your worst enemy whilst doing these melees. You can't hit them easily. You have to keep jumping up and smacking them or trying to stab them. It honestly feels like you're trying to prod a fucking wasp nest, like you're trying to go like that, prodding it and then backing the fuck away. You're constantly just kind of like jumping up and just being like, fuck, I need to kill this guy. It's so annoying, especially in later rounds. So honestly, to skip all of that stress altogether, just to avoid all that hassle, I'm going to just say, if you finish every other challenge, just go on Liberty Falls. You're saving yourself so much hassle. Liberty Falls only spawns vermin in on the special rounds. I know it's annoying to keep switching map if you're sticking to the oil trap technique for every other challenge, but it's going to happen quicker because it only spawns those in. Now, you can get them normally just through doing special rounds on Citadel or any other map, but it's just, you have to put it with parasites, and that's something you should be aware of. What I did with the vermins to kind of out-trick them was, if they were coming towards me, I'd kind of like hide myself behind an obstruction, so like a box or something like that, because they're going to leap at you or they're going to keep jumping up and biting you. So if they're coming around the box, they can't really jump at you or do anything. The vermin kills, you'll get through it, no problem. Don't worry about it. But anyway, we're now on to the Mystic Gold challenge. Mystic Gold, as usual, is to get 10 kills rapidly 15 times, and this is really going to suck if you're using the baseball bat. I'm just going to say that. Baseball bat is a 2-hit weapon, and the knife is probably not going to be preferable either if you're going for constant kills and you don't want to get hit. So the oil trap, again, is literally the best thing for this. It's going to get all of those done in rapid fire, especially beyond round 15 and 20. The really good thing about this is that most of the time, once you get onto these Mystic Gold challenges, it's going to be when you're in higher rounds, because you've been sat in the game for so long doing all the other camos. Most of you experienced players doing the camo grind will get these guns or weapons done in one match. And the other one being the OPAL challenge. Of course, the OPAL challenge is going to ask you to get 30 special zombie eliminations. Yeah, it is going to blow. So as you probably saw from the beginning of the video, when I was using the OPAL challenge right here for the tomb, still works. It's a great video and it still works, that technique. What I actually was doing to make this a lot safer was I would actually shoot the zombie with my primary weapon, because yes, in this game, melees are stuck as your third allocated slot. They're not actually a secondary, and they're not something you can select as a primary. So I actually used the primary weapon to shoot the zombies to lower their health, so they look like they would take about 1 or 2 hits. I would then go in with the melee and finish them off, and this was the quickest and safest way of me getting those special zombie kills without actually sitting there and just batting at them for ages and getting myself downed. In general, you're not going to want to go for special zombies if you haven't got at least Pack-a-Punch 1 on. It's just foolish. They are pretty strong, and you could actually see from the video at the start, sometimes that tomb technique was absolutely insane. It was spitting 3 or 4 special zombies at me, and that is absolutely ridiculous with a melee. And you've got other zombies from the trials and from the normal round spawning in, but it is doable. But anyway, that is all the challenges. So now let's get to our very simple and quick ranking. This should not take very long, but it might actually surprise some of you. I'm actually going to put the knife in first place and the baseball bat in second place. The reason being is that, yes, whilst the baseball bat has a much cooler inspect and it definitely has a better reach, it actually requires 2 hits, and that is a massive deal, especially in zombies. So I actually find that the knife is a lot more satisfying to use. It even has a much quicker cutting animation, whilst the bat is like a whole swing, and it does all this other stupid shit that can really get you killed. It can get you hit as well, because it's really doing too much. But anyway, that is going to conclude today's video. That is all weapon classes done, so I guess stay tuned for the Afterlife camo video. I'll have all the inspects in there for all the weapons I've done, and a nice little montage and all that good stuff of me getting the challenges done. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, if this helped you out. Leave a comment as well, and other than that, thank you, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.